You may wonder, how are issues determined that are going to be of any kind of importance? In other words, who sets the agenda? Who decides, whether or not we're going to discuss abortion, or if we're going to discuss illegal immigration? Well, the answer is very simple. The people decide who is going to get the most attention with regards to what topics are going to be discussed, or what topics are going to be uh, or going to garner the most attention. This is why it's called agenda setting theory, or agenda setting. When developing policy, one of the steps that I want to briefly talk to you about is defining the problem. This is the reason why you're developing the policy in the first place. Also, when developing policy, you, of course, are trying to define a problem, but you want to be careful that you don't define the problem, whereas it's really a result of a bigger problem. You want to consider conditions that cause problems in the first place. Today we spoke to Dr. Oscar J. Underwood, and he's the founder and apostle of Cathedral of Praise Ministries and Church International. The topic that we discussed today was, um, is it a good idea to introduce policy development and implementation to middle schoolers, as well as, not just introducing them to it, but teaching them, what it is, and doing it on a graduated scale. In other words, start them, say, at the sixth grade, which is my preference. Start them at the sixth grade and work it all the way up into the 12th grade. When assembling evidence, the time that you're going to spend developing policy is going to be spent on thinking and collecting data. Now, when you're collecting data, you want to make sure that the evidence that you're collecting has to do with the problem that you're addressing. There have been many times when I've said, we've marched enough as African Americans. We've certainly marched enough, and God knows we've paid enough. We've paid very hard with blood and treasure. After we've marched, after we've raised our voices, after we've had the many, many town hall meetings, after going on TV and displaying our anger and displeasure and our malcontent, what's next? What concrete steps are you going to take in order to make things better?